Well, I guess you're thinking in terms of this being a long-term situation, but there is the reality of next summer creeping up. How are you viewing that when you see the money that's been out there this summer, what could be out there next summer? What is your mindset in terms of the long term?
I would love to be here. I'm from here. I always wanted to play for the Pacers, so having an opportunity like this is big for me. But I'm just trying to make the most of this year and hopefully be here for a long time.
Jeff, playing at home has, over to your left, has its pluses and minuses. You know, certainly you're around your family, but there could also be a lot of distractions. What are your thoughts just on playing in your hometown?
I'm happy to be here. I think my family and my support system do a great job of keeping me, sane, not being distracted, not being messed up off the court or whatever. But I'm happy. It's home. I've always wanted to play for the Pacers. They have a great group here already, and I think that I can come in and help.
Jeff, how are you doing physically, A? And B, is after the way things ended in Atlanta, is it like pressing the restart button for you on your professional career?
Yeah, I'm doing well, but it's definitely like pressing a restart. Having a new opportunity. I'm happy to be here. Great coaching staff, great guys. Excited to play with Paul and Miles and those guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Jeff, with you looking at the roster now and being a part of this team, what excites you most, and how do you anticipate the first season going with these guys, given that it's a pretty new group?
I'm excited with all the talented guys they have. I'm used to playing with a couple older guys, so having some young guys that can do a lot of things with the basketball, I'm excited about. I think this guy, on paper, we're a really good team right now, but with some practice time and getting to gel a little bit, the sky's the limit for us.
Jeff, you referred to having been a fan for a long time. What memories do you have of coming to games as a kid, or just following the team growing up here?
Well, I watched games as a kid. I remember the teams before the fight, the Ron Artest teams and the Jermaine O'Neals, and when your guys made it to the championship against the Lakers. Jalen Rose was one of my favorite players at the time. So I know a lot. I mean, being from here, so you have no choice but to be an Indiana fan. And it's always been good having battles with the Pacers for a long time in the playoffs. So the atmosphere is always crazy every time we had a chance to play against you guys. I'm happy to be a part of it. I came to a couple, but my first time I ever played here was when I played on the Indiana All-Star team, and I had an opportunity to play in the gym, and I think I got a dunk, and I was so excited. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Jeff, have you gotten a chance to talk with Nate McMillan and Larry Bird as to what they would like for you to do next season and what your role will be?
No, I haven't got a chance, but I'm sure I'm probably going to talk to them after this. I think they were in the summer league the first time I got here. But I'm excited to get to know those guys a little more.
There's been a lot of talk the last year or two about pushing the tempo and maybe having a quicker offense. You seem to fit that. How much of your game is replicated on speed and pace and tempo and things of that nature?
I like to get up and down a little bit. I think using my speed is placed on my advantage. I think the guys in this team, with Monte Ellis and Paul being able to bring the ball up and play at a faster tempo, I think it should play in our benefit.
Jeff, you had almost 3 weeks between the time it was agreed to now being official. What did you think about joining a new team and what all that would entail over these last 3 weeks?
It was exciting, but it was like almost bittersweet, being somewhere for so long and having a new opportunity to come here. And I never thought in 1,000 years that they would trade me to Indiana. And when it happened, I was so excited. Me and my brother were actually sitting there, and we kind of looked at each other. I didn't think it was real, and I was telling Mr. Nix, Coach Nix, I didn't think it was real until I shipped my last car here, and I was like, I'm not going anywhere after this. I'm going to be here for the summer and for the rest of the year, so I'm excited.
What exactly have you been able to do physically, if anything, because of the tear you posted about?
I've been lifting a little bit, and today I actually ran on the treadmill, so that's good progress for me.
All right, you mentioned the 2013 draft in one of your interviews. Does this make up for that? And B, you said you were never thought in 1,000 years, but I think wasn't there sort of a sense of inevitability that at some point you were going to wind up here? There was so much talk for so many years that this would be a great fit.
Yeah, I thought it would have to be in free agency. I never thought it would be a trade, but Yeah, in the draft, I thought that they were going to pick me at 13. I wanted them to, but, it didn't work. But I guess it worked out for the better now that I have opportunity to be here, and I think it's at a better time.
Just to follow up, how did you find out about the trade? Who called you?
My agent called me first, and then he told me he kind of didn't want to tell me. He kind of wanted to let me hear it from Coach Bud, I guess. So he kind of told me to answer the phone for Coach Bud. He was going to call me, and then Coach Bud called me and told me the great news.
George Hill was introduced here as the hometown hero for the starting lineup. What would be an appropriate introduction for you?
Just a kid from Indianapolis, Indiana.
You chose 44. You've worn like 4 different numbers over your career, including in high school. What does 44 mean to you?
My older brother wore it in high school, and I always wanted to follow in his steps. So when I was in high school, when I was able to pick my number, I picked 44. And also, you got the bigger shorts when you wore the bigger numbers, so I made sure.
Obviously, you've put up big offensive numbers in your career. People have been less convinced about your defense. But if you look at analytics, defensively, your numbers come across pretty well. Do you take as much pride in that? Is that something that you're still trying to prove to people, that you are a better defensive player maybe than advertised?
Yeah, I enjoy playing defense. It's part of the game, and I love the game. So I try to be my best I can be on both ends of the floor. And I know playing for Coach Nate, you're going to have to guard, and I'm fine with that.
Jeff, why do you think it didn't work out? I mean, it worked out in Atlanta, but why do you think it came to the point they were willing to trade you and go with a different point guard?
I guess it kind of just ran its course. I could tell they were going in a different direction. I think with all the guys that have been there for a while, it kind of ran their course with everyone. I think from me to Al, and I knew that they were going to bring in their guys, the guys that they drafted and they wanted to see play. And it happened. I mean, I loved my time there. It was great. The organization was great to me. The coaching staff was great. But it was time for a new start, and it just happened to be in my hometown, a place that I love.
So obviously going to a new team comes with adjustments. What kind of challenges are you anticipating?
Just to get to know the guys. We all really talented basketball players, but trying to figure out what guys like the ball, where they're comfortable shooting, and getting to know guys' tendencies, really. Playing against them a couple of years, I know what they're capable of doing, but I don't know where they like the ball and things like that. So having some time with them and some training camp time, I'll figure it out.
Jeff, you've mentioned here a few minutes ago how much you obviously love being from Indianapolis and wanting to play for the Pacers. Given your contract situation, would you like to have discussions about a long-term deal now, or would you want the season to play out before coming to that sort of discussions?
I want to be here, but I leave that to my agent and let him, work on all those things. I'm here to play basketball, and I'm excited to play, but I definitely want to be here. Yeah, definitely be beyond just one season. I'll love to spend the rest of my career here.
Jeff, this was touched on a little bit earlier, but obviously some players are more comfortable playing in their hometowns, but you obviously have a great sense of identity. You literally wear Indianapolis on your sleeve. Why? What is the source of that for you? Why do you feel so strongly about this place where maybe other guys are ambivalent?
For being in the league for 7 years, everybody always talks about how they do not like coming to Indianapolis, and I'm from here, so I just want to rep it. I love it. It's the best basketball city. All the talented players I feel like come from Indianapolis, and it's just a sense of pride for me. Being here, watching guys grow up and be successful, play basketball, and everything, every driveway you go to, you see a basketball court. Every park, some kids playing basketball. So I've grown to love it, and I love this city, and been a Pacer fan for years, and now my dreams come true.
Jeff, during this moratorium, when we haven't been able to, talk to you or talk about the trade, have you had a chance to talk to any of your new teammates, had conversations with them, or get to know the guys yet?
No, I haven't. I spoke to Miles a little bit. He's around, but most of the guys, they're busy with families and things like that. But closer in September, I know when training camp and pickup games and things start, I know we'll have a great bond and we'll figure it all out.
So you mentioned your brother. How did your entire family, react to this trade to Indianapolis?
My mom, I'm a mama's boy, so she was excited. She always makes ham, so she cooked the ham, I guess. She was happy. My dad was excited. But my brother, my older brother, he was really excited because he lived with me for my first 5 years in Atlanta. And these last 2 years, he came back to Indiana, and he was here. So he missed a lot of games, and he was happy to be able to be a part of coming to the games every day. And my older sisters, they were excited because they get to come to the games. They never came to the games in Atlanta, so they're happy.
Said you've done some work on the treadmill. When do you expect to return to basketball activities on the floor?
I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to be here every day. Obviously, I live here, so I'll be in the gym every day, and hopefully I'll be back on the court sooner than later.
Have you found a place yet? Have you settled in already? And, do you have a residence?
Yeah, my mom has a nice house.
Jeff, you mentioned your love affair with Indianapolis, obviously being from here. Have you, since you've came back once the trade was sort of announced, have you spoken to or gotten a lot of encouragement from people in Indianapolis? Have fans sort of made a point to reach out to you since you're from here?
Yeah, everybody. I always go to all the gyms around the AAU circuit and watch the games. I got a couple of teams that play, but all the people have been great, telling me welcome home, and they're excited for about the next year, and it's been all love.